Hello all, 4-Player Squad Gaming here, and this is our Final Fantasy XIV Dungeon Guide series. This level 50 dungeon is optional and part of the quest Blood for Stone. I welcome you to the Stone Vigil Hard. At the time of recording this video, 50 Tonestones of Poetics are awarded upon completion. So let's see what the Vigil has in store for us this time. We start this duty as we did in the normal version, weaving our way in and out of the side rooms of the Vigil, killing any adds we come across. Once we have made our way to the Barbican, we are greeted by a large number of enemies. Depending on your ability, you can either kill the adds in smaller groups or collect them all here. It is worth mentioning, however, that a Watch Wyvern will join in and can increase the pressure. You will also recognise the Wyvern from the original version. Hello Crochet, long time no see. Once this area is cleared, head through the now open fiery barricade and up the stairs. We are met by another set of adds and another Watch Wyvern. Take care of these, minding the space you have, and head on through towards the first boss fight. Gorinitch is our first boss. This fight is very much like the Chudo-Yudo fight in the original version. We can start this fight as normal with a tank gaining the enmity and facing the boss away from the party. This is a tank and spankable boss, however we do need to be careful of switch. This high hitting ability will have no indicator will hit for huge damage. It is recommended here to move to Gorinitch's side to avoid this. Once the adds spawn, the damage dealer should aim to take care of these quickly. Shortly after they spawn, the boss will run to a corner of the fight area and start casting Swinge. Get to its side or behind to avoid the damage. Once the adds die, they will cast a large AoE ability. Move to avoid this. If they die near the boss, they will also grant it a buff, so be mindful of their positioning. Keep up the damage, and with these mechanics in mind, this boss is relatively simple. Pick up your loot and proceed. Keep making your way through the hallways and clearing any adds you come across. The spellcasters here can hit for some high damage, and watch out for them casting Dragon's Blood. This will transform them into a Jura Avis with high HP and greater damage if not interrupted. And eventually you will make your way round to the 3 large cannons. We need to clear the adds here, and just like the original version, we need to use the Berthas to blast Iskabind. This will need to be done a total of 3 times. It is recommended for a damage dealer to activate the Berthas, but honestly it doesn't really matter. Once you have repeated this mechanic 3 times, the northern wall will explode and allow you to pass. Kill the remaining adds and make your way through to the second boss fight. Cuca Fera is our second boss, and this fight is very mechanic heavy. As you will have noticed, there are 4 Berthas around the fight area. These will need to be used to damage the boss. It has a ridiculously large HP pool and realistically can only be killed using them. The Berthas have 2 abilities. Iron Kiss is used to damage the boss normally and any adds that spawn, and Spindly Finger is used to stun the boss. This will be used when it starts to do a full area-wide AoE. Interrupt this using Spindly Finger and be mindful of its large cooldown. The party should continue to damage Cuca Fera with the cannons and aim to keep the knights alive. When the adds spawn, use the Berthas or alternatively leave the cannon and kill them as quickly as possible. This fight requires teamwork and some good coordination. When the boss illuminates, stop firing the cannons, as this will rebound and damage you and the Bertha. This needs to be avoided at all costs. Keep up the cannon fire, and before long you will have cleared the second boss. Pick up your loot and progress. The next part of this dungeon requires the party to keep making your way through the halls, clearing any adds that you come across, again being mindful of the spellcasters, but there shouldn't be anything here that you can't handle. I mean, you just killed a huge Sparky Bowser after all. Keep progressing until we reach the final boss fight. Well done adventurer, enjoy the short cutscene. Giruveganaus is our final boss, and this one has some interesting mechanics. We can start this fight as normal with the tank gaining the enmity, however the boss will use his abilities and ignore the enmity table, so not exactly ideal for the tank. It is recommended for the party to keep up damage on the boss and aim to be stood somewhere towards his side. 3 abilities will be used throughout: a frontal charge, a tail swing and a frontal cleave combo, and finally a fireball. None of these have indicators, so we need to watch and see what tells the boss can give us. For example, when it drops its shoulder, it will be using a frontal charge. Being hit with any ability will cause moderate damage and debuff the party member, reducing all magical healing. At approximately 50% health, the boss will spawn a mirror image of itself, just to make the fight a little spicier. It is recommended to ignore the clone and keep focusing the first boss down, and then swap to the second. With 2 targets, this fight requires great mobility and will certainly be a test for the healer. Aim to avoid being debuffed and keep piling on the damage, and after a short while, the duty will have been completed. And there you have it, the Stone Vigil Hard is complete. Remember to commemorate the player you believe deserves it most and pick up your loot. We give this duty a difficulty rating 3 out of 5 swords. The boss fights are mechanic heavy and can easily be wiped, especially Cuca Fera. Remember to like, comment and subscribe, and if you think I've missed anything then please comment below. We are 4 Player Squad Gaming, thanks for watching.